Hello there, I'm Haya, and I'm sorry I look terrible in this recording, and that's kind of the point of this recording. Too long didn't watch, don't trust Riverside FM with anything. Basically, right now, this piece of software is showing me that it is recording this exact conversation in 1080p. See that here, right? So the host, 1080p, recording in 1080p high def, using the Manycam virtual webcam, which is what I was expecting, and my microphone. But basically, 1080p, right? It says so right there. So you would assume that the software is currently recording me at 1080p. But it turns out that isn't true. And what it's actually doing is recording all of this in 480 without telling me, which is a real problem, right? In a professional piece of software, you don't expect it to tell you it's doing one thing and then do something else. Now, I went around with customer support, and they tell me that this is because my video stream is actually sending a 60 frame per second video stream to Riverside, which, if you don't accept 60 frames per second, then just tell me that. If you're not recording in 1080, don't tell me that. But more importantly, I've got Manycam up here, and it's showing me that it's actually not doing 60 frames per second. It's doing 30 frames per second. And the resolution is 1080p. And I went and checked that separately. And of course, all of this is utter bullshit, because this is the exact local recording that Riverside should have saved, because this is the one that's coming straight out of Manycam. And as I'm inspecting it, of course, it's 1080p, 30 frames per second, as expected. So I don't know what their customer support is smoking, but I just feel like I'm being gaslit all the way down. Anyway, back to the other video. So there's just a quagmire of dumb mistakes happening here, and it is really quite upsetting because I've now lost 3 recordings, 2 to this bug and 1 to some other indeterminable bug. I just did a little test recording earlier using exactly this setup, and here's what you get. It says, equipment, Manycam virtual webcam extension, Shure MV7, great, right? My recording that you're currently looking at has the quality of potato. Like, completely unacceptable. And as you just saw in the user interface, everything I saw made me think I was recording in 1080p. And basically, it means that Riverside is just complete junk, as far as I'm concerned, because if the user interface doesn't do what it says it's doing, how the hell are you meant to trust it? At a very basic level, that's what's going on. And their customer support people are taking no responsibility for any of this. Worse, on the website, it actually says, we record the raw stream that's coming in so you can rest assured that you get the best quality. Well, if the raw stream I sent them was 1080p, 60 frames per second, then just save that. And then in editing, I can figure out how to make the frame rate match up, right? But it turns out they didn't do that either. So I don't know what they're doing over there. They're not being forthcoming with me, and they're actually just blaming me for bugs in their software. And for all of those reasons, I'm completely done with Riverside. And it's just not fit for purpose. Like, imagine you're shooting with a stills camera and you're thinking you're shooting in full resolution and it's giving you less than webcam quality photos. You would throw that camera away, wouldn't you? Well, it's the same thing I'm doing with Riverside. Absolute garbage. Hard disrecommend. Will never use again. Anyway, I just wanted to share it with you. And if you know somebody who uses Riverside, feel free to send them this video and, tell them to find a different piece of software that does work. I'm done.